us put our hands up there?
Yeah.
Okay. So whereabouts? Ready, have a name, you guys.
So, guys. Okay. And again, just to this camera here.
Let's go for the first one, this one.
One more?
Pieces in there, right?
No, you want, so if I'm black, I want to get all my pieces
Around,
from
yeah.
this side.
Oh, I didn't do my second one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries.
There's sort of some skill. Season 2.
It's a one-person page back there, two-person. You can.
But we like it.
Thank you.
Berries, very common. Very cute. Very cute.
Let me walk around, let them
Stay and enjoy your journey.
Thank you. You right?
Debut. What would you say? Push this and speak here.
Okay, please help me. Me and my family are stuck in space. I don't know our exact coordinates, but just help us, please. Thank you.
Still keep being polite, yeah, in space.
When I was 5 years old, I watched the relationship between I watched the relationship between E.T. and I feel like that was it hooked me from the beginning, and getting to play Will Robinson and having that relationship with the robot, it was really awesome, and I was really excited because I grew up loving robots too. So preparing for the role was more fun than work.
What I like about this show is it's not just about how the family can survive the dangers that present themselves on the planet, but it's also how they can, how they can deal with one another. That story of, what Molly was just saying, John being dislocated from his family through the choices he's made in life, and how he finds his way back in there, but also how the kids deal with their own kind of demons and things like that, and Maureen as well. So it's a sort of journey for them emotionally as much as physically.
Time I read the audition for Penny, there was instantly a moment where I connected with this character so much, from starting with, the fact that we're both in a terribly awkward, awful teenage phase that I'm hoping I'm finally getting out of, to the fact that, we will both take any opportunity to interrupt a serious situation with a completely irrelevant one-liner. But as I continue reading the script and I continued reading into this character, which I loved so much, I really grew to admire how genuine she is, and that she doesn't necessarily always fit into every situation. She's the only non-sciencey person in a science family on a science mission. So she's not really in her element, but no matter how in or out she feels, she's true to herself, and that doesn't change. And yeah, with that, I'm excited to continue to watch her growing.
Lost in Space. Give it up for Toby Stephens, Molly Parker,
Woo!
Maxwell Jenkins, Taylor Russell, and Mina Sundwall.
Welcome, welcome. Please have a seat along the sofas for us, folks. Welcome.
One of the things that really attracted me to this reimagining of the show is that the women and the girls in the show are strong and complicated and nuanced characters. But I think the thing that I like the best is that because the show takes place 30 years in the future, that's just a given. Nobody has to talk about it. It's not, you know, nobody's trying to prove anything. It's just completely assumed and accepted that the women can do any job that the men can do. And I think that's quite aspirational. I hope that in 30 years we don't have to talk about, you know, it being rare that there are strong women.
Having it be imagined so far in the future, we've created, again, this kind of standard in between that it doesn't matter who is doing it, because there are so many situations on our show where it's life or death. It's very extreme, so it doesn't matter if it is a man doing it or if it is a woman doing it. It matters if it's well done. And we don't have, you know, a female doctor or a female scientist. We have a doctor and we have a scientist, and they're women, but it's never been a question. It's just the reality.
My favorite genre of film or TV is absolutely sci-fi. I grew up loving Star Trek, and I grew up loving Alien, Blade Runner, anything you can imagine. So I think that getting to be in a sci-fi TV show has been really cool. And I'm really excited that I have a robot.
He really is really excited that he has a robot.
Every day, that's all I talk about.
Yes.
Good time, exhausted, being a long day.
Oh no, I'm doing great actually.